What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fat Unathletic Nerds Talking Sports podcast, and this is an episode of A Shot with Zack Danielz. I'm doing this only the second time. The last time I did this was months ago, and I've just not had time to revisit it and do my own shtick. So, we're back. Football's back. The last time I did this episode, I talked about how the Eagles drafted Devontae Smith. So, naturally, I'm going to talk about football. I'm going to talk about a lot of football because it's back, baby. We're back. College had a first weekend this past weekend. I'm recording this on Labor Day. I got nothing going on today, so day drinking at home. That's what's going to happen. So, yeah. Let's see. We're going to take a shot right here. All right. Got my Jameson ready. Let's do this. I just don't like shots, to be completely honest. But at least I can do Jameson shots. Ooh, yeah. Here we go. Some goosebumps. I'm such a pussy with liquor, to be completely honest. Zack Danielz is just a cool name. And, people call me that because I've had a couple bad nights on Jack Daniels. We won't get into that. But we're here to talk about football. That's what we're really here for. So let's get down to this. All right. Let me start off with a more personal topic. Rutgers football. Yeah, Rutgers football. You know, the team that's sucked for multiple years. Just the doormat of the Big Ten, really. Last year showed signs of life. That's saying a lot for them. Because in recent years, they've had zero life. Like, none. At all. But Greg, he's bringing the juice to the squad. The defense looks incredible. The offense still looks a little bit anemic. But I know that they have several players on offense like Isaiah Pacheco, the running back, Bo Melton, the wide receiver. I think Bo Melton's going to be a mid-round draft pick next year unless he blows everyone out of the water this year. That would be fucking cool. He's really good, and I don't think many people know about him. So I hope people start paying attention to him at the very least on Rutgers offense. But the defense, 5 turnovers yesterday or Saturday. Today's Monday, like I said. So, I mean, they just look like a team. That's it. They just look like a team. They haven't looked like a team in years, you know? So, I'm just really happy about that, and I can't wait to see them actually play better opponents because Temple clearly is not. I thought Temple would at least put up a fight, but my God, man. Maybe it was just Rutgers' defense was overpowering them. I mean, they were having a field day against them. Just interceptions galore, fumbles, sacks, just crushing them on defense. The offense, though, man, I mean, luckily the defense made those turnovers because the offense didn't have. If you look at the offensive stats, they didn't have a lot of yards. That's because they had the ball in Temple's territory already half the time, and one of their touchdowns was a pick six. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to score when you don't have to even go 50 yards. But I don't know. I'm just very happy that they actually look like a team. So shout out to any Rutgers people listening to this. I mean, can't wait to see what they do against teams like, Ohio State or whatever. They're gonna lose, but just make it a game, please. No more dying 78-0 to Michigan like they did years ago, right? Like, I don't think that's gonna happen. I just don't. But yeah, that was my spiel on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. What I really wanted to talk about now, man, like I said, football's here. NFL is starting this week, so I have to do this before the season really starts. I wanted to go over the top 10 games that I want to watch this year. I'm obviously going to watch every Eagles game I can catch. I mean, I'm an Eagles fan. But I'll be honest, I didn't put any Eagles games in this list. Why? Because I have no idea what the Eagles are going to do. I just don't. I personally don't think it's going to be good either. Like, I'm hoping it'll be good, but new coaching staff, new head coach, Jalen Hurts has only started 4 games in his career, so this is like his first. This is basically his rookie year. He's starting from scratch. I don't know what they're going to look like, though, man. I don't know what they're going to look like. So I can't, obviously I'm looking forward to every Eagles game, but I wanted to go over marquee matchups. Matchups that, any football fan, you could be like, oh, that sounds interesting. And maybe you don't. Maybe you don't think these matchups are interesting. Some of them I think you have to think they are. We'll get into that. But some of these you'll have to be, but some of these I'll try to explain to you why I'm interested in them. These are teams that I don't care about. These are teams I just want to see some good football games, and also maybe the storyline behind it is intriguing enough that I want to pay attention to it. So we're going to get into the top 10 marquee matchups of the year for Zack Danielz. We're going to start with number 1 right away. Right away. We're going to go into probably the easiest one to pick out. It has to be the Patriots and the Buccaneers in week 4. Tom Brady returns to Foxborough, right? Foxborough? Yeah, I think that's Foxborough. Yeah. You can't tell me that's not going to be a hyped up game. Oh, and by the way, Mac Jones is now is officially the starting quarterback because Cam Newton was cut. I am not surprised at all that Cam Newton got cut. I don't know how people think he's still gonna how can you say that he's gonna be good anymore? He's backup material at this point. You have to pray that he can throw the ball more than 20 yards. His arm looks shot. He looks injured every time he plays. And I'm not surprised at all. They picked Mac Jones. He had a pretty good preseason. Cam Newton missed days because of COVID protocols. I thought it was an easy choice. So you have the rookie quarterback versus the GOAT. And I know there's people on this podcast with me that will not agree with that, but looking at you, Jack. But he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Everyone knows it. So many Super Bowl wins. So many wins, period. And honestly, since he's gone to the Buccaneers, he's become very funny on social media. Just the shit he posts and the things he's been saying in interviews, he was talking so much shit about his former teammate Mike Vrabel, the coach of the Tennessee Titans. Oh my God, it was so funny. So, yeah, number 1, we got to look at Patriots Bucks. That is going to be quite an interesting. That is going to be quite an interesting matchup. If the Patriots win, if Mac Jones beats Tom Brady in Tom Brady's old stomping grounds, that's just insane. He'll be loved by the Patriots fans immediately for that. They're obviously going to love Tom Brady forever. But man, Mac Jones would score some big brownie points if he beat Tom Brady in Foxborough. So yeah, week 4, Patriots Bucks. I'm telling you, got to watch that game. I'm going to be honest, most of these games are probably going to be nationally televised. Some of them. Some of these I'm looking at, I'm like, no one's going to care about that game. And if it is, then, man, I'm on point. Let's go to another one. All right, my number 2. This is just, I mean, the Packers versus the Chiefs. It's going to be in Kansas City. It's Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes. Do you really need anything more than that? The Chiefs are trying to get back to, not even the playoffs, they're trying to get back to their 3rd straight Super Bowl. And when you have Patrick Mahomes, that is a pretty safe bet. Back there, pretty high. That team is pretty stacked. Offensively, defense pretty good too. Packers, you got Aaron Rodgers, the same thing. He's trying to get past the NFC Conference Championship game. Why did they kick that field goal last year, man? Why did they kick that field goal? You have Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams. Robert Tonyan is a red zone monster. I don't know if people know that. Evan Engram from the shit-ass Giants got a Pro Bowl selection, and even Giants fans will agree with me that he did not deserve it. He had stone hands last year at times. He single-handedly lost the game to the Eagles in Carson Wentz's last win on the Eagles. Sorry, I had to get in a Carson Wentz fact in there, but it's true. I mean, like, that was the last game Carson Wentz won as an Eagle, and Evan Ingram dropped not only an easy first down, I mean, he's fast enough, he could have ran it to the end zone. But Robert Tonyan for the Packers, underrated tight end in my opinion. I don't think people are paying enough attention to him. I know he didn't have a lot of catches and yards, I think, but man, he was just a touchdown machine. He was like automatic. So, you know, you got Tonyan, Adams, Jones, and Rodgers. Like, there you go. You can find a way to score with that. They can keep up with the Chiefs, I think. But I don't know. The Chiefs are just such a stacked team. But yeah, that game, I'm not sure if that one's. I didn't look at the Monday Night Football or the Thursday Night Football schedules. But I mean, that's got to be a national. That's got to be a national game right there. That's too marquee, right? That's too marquee to pass up on. People are definitely going to pay attention to a potential Super Bowl matchup. Some of these are potential Super Bowl matchups if you look at it. I like some of these games. They could meet in the playoffs, but these are all just regular season games. That's why I'm doing this, because there's always those games every week you just want to tune into. And Packers Chiefs, I think it's a no-brainer. All right, so we're gonna go to number 3, and we're gonna go back this time to Tampa Bay again. There's gonna be some repeat teams. I'm sorry, it's just how it's gonna work. All right, some of these teams you just have to. But man, the Buccaneers are playing the Buffalo Bills in Tampa Bay, Week 14. You know, the Bills versus the Super Bowl winner of last year, Tom Brady again. Tom Brady against another young, upcoming. I mean, well, Josh Allen is here. He's here. He's gotten better every single year, and last year was just over the top, like production. He's just getting better and better and better exponentially all 3 years. So I wonder what's going to happen this year with him. You know, hopefully he stays healthy. Hopefully he stays off that COVID protocol, because I'm not sure if he's vaccinated or not. You know, that's the big story. You know, if you aren't vaccinated and you contact trace, or I don't fucking know, man. If you don't feel good, apparently you're going to cost your team a game if enough people can't play. It's just, I don't know. I think that's the NFL playing God a little too much. But, hey, that's been agreed upon. So, anyway, Bills and Bucks. Oh, you got COVID Beasley, too. Cove Beasley. Dude, like, just shut up. Just honestly, like, he's just not making anything better when he's talking about it. He sounds silly. But either way, Bills Bucks, man. That's gonna be a fucking great game. Can we talk about the Buccaneers bringing back, like, basically the entire team that won the Super Bowl? Has that ever happened? Like, it's almost the exact. It's practically the exact same team, minus maybe a few minor guys and added draft picks. Like, it's the same team. It's incredible. Tom Brady's going to be throwing at Antonio Brown still, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. Like, God, how do you stop? And I'm sorry, who's your tight? I forget their tight ends. They have a couple tight ends too. They still have Gronk, I'm pretty sure too. Like, God. Someone's got to stop Tom Brady, man. Someone's got to stop that fucking guy. At some point, I swear. I can't see enough. I respect him. I can't see another Tom Brady Super Bowl win. I just can't. And honestly, Bills Bucks, that could be a Super Bowl matchup too if the Bills stay on course. The Josh Allen Stephon Diggs connection was lethal last year. Stephon Diggs was like my fantasy god. Just stuck him in the wide receiver slot, and I think like every week he put up big numbers. Him and Josh Allen it was great. It was brilliant. So, yeah, definitely want to see Bills Bucks. Again, probably going to be a national game. Who knows? We'll see. Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday. It's got to be one of those, man. You got 3 of those slots every week. So one of them is going to be nationally televised. Okay, number 4. Let's Let's switch it up a little bit. I'm going to throw a curveball in here. By the way, this list, I said number 4. I'm just giving you 10. I'm not listing them really. I'm just kind of reading them off. I have tons of them listed in front of me, and I'm just kind of going down this list and seeing which ones I like a lot. So I'm going to throw my first curveball in here. 2 teams we don't expect to do well at all. If they do well, that's impressive because both these teams are actually shit. But let me paint the picture for you, all right? In week 4, the Jacksonville Jaguars will play the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay, you ready? Sounds stupid? Come on now. Who's a college football fan? I started off with talking about Rutgers, so you know I am. The Jaguars led by Trevor Lawrence and the Bengals led by Joe Burrow. Hopefully he's healthy. God, with that offensive line in Cincinnati, he might not be, but let's pray, please. We're going to have a, 2019 College Football Championship rematch. Got Trevor Lawrence from Clemson Tigers and Joe Burrow from the LSU Tigers. Couple Tigers. Go Tigers. Coach O is fucking great with that voice, man. But yeah. Anyway, Trevor Lawrence versus Joe Burrow. Two crap teams, but like the story, wouldn't that be fun? And both, by the way, I think both these guys are going to be good quarterbacks. The problem is they're just on crap teams. Sometimes I feel bad sometimes when these guys go to teams that suck. Like, I'm very happy Baker Mayfield and the organization of Cleveland cleaned their shit up and got like a team around him for the first time. They got a team around a quarterback for the first time in 20 fucking years. You know, like looks like you know, the Browns will look good. So I'm hoping at some point, you know, it would be nice to see a little bit of parity in the AFC North for once. Like, the Bengals have been a shit show for years, and they still haven't won a playoff game in God knows how long. I just don't know. They also drafted Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow's boy from LSU, who he won the championship with a couple years ago. And he looked like he was terrible in preseason. I think he only had like 1 catch in all 3 preseason games. That's and several drops too. Not even like he wasn't targeted a lot. He was targeted several times and he just dropped a couple. He only had 1 catch. So you mix that not good outlook plus how bad the Bengals offensive line is. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting with Joe Burrow. And Trevor Lawrence, you know, he's a rookie. Don't know what's going to happen there. Did the Jaguars get any better? I think he has decent wide receivers. DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault. That dude looks like a beast in the making. He was good last year as a rookie in that loaded wide receiver pool in 2020. And they also got Marvin Jones from, I think that's his name, right? Marvin Jones? Yeah, Marvin Jones Jr. He was on the Lions last year. He's pretty solid too. So, you know, I'm thinking this game will at the very least be interesting. Maybe not a marquee matchup. Maybe I'm using the wrong word. These are matchups I'm just interested. These are marquee in my mind. I would love that. I love that college football championship. I always love the college football championship. It's always fun. But, you know, Trevor Lawrence versus Joe Burrow that year, you know, Clemson put up a good fight, but that LSU team in 2019 was just overloaded with NFL talent. It was insane. So it's just going to be fun seeing these two guys now face off in the NFL. It's always good. It's always good. It's always a good story. All right, I'm going to go with another unconventional pick. Ready for this one? In Week 7, we will see the Lions versus the Rams. It'll be in L.A. And yep, it's another quarterback matchup that I'm kind of interested in. Matt Stafford, after years wasting away with the Detroit Lions, is going to be playing his former team against the guy who was traded from the team he's currently on, Jared Goff. You know, Jared Goff led the Rams. I guess you could say led. Really was like defense led, but Jared Goff was a Super Bowl losing quarterback. He went to the Super Bowl. It counts, man. I think he gets a lot of flack. A lot of people think like Jared Goff sucks. I don't think he sucks. I just don't know if he was worth the number 1 overall pick many years ago in 2016. Looks like him and Carson Wentz really weren't worth that. But, hey, now they're on different teams. See what they do now. Dude, the coach for the Lions the moment he said we're going to bite kneecaps was the moment I was like, I'm sold. This dude's awesome. I hope the Lions go like 10-7. I hope they make the playoffs. I don't know why. I don't think they will. They're in a very tough division. The division with Aaron Rodgers. But, I mean, Lions versus Rams, Matt Stafford versus Jared Goff. I think the Rams will roll them, but who knows? Who knows what happens by then? That is in week 7. I feel like you don't really have a good measure. You don't know how good a team really is until after like the first month. You need 4 games at least. Then you can kind of project where a team's gonna go. But also, you don't know when the team could heat up or all of a sudden cool down and, get on a losing streak or a win streak. You never know what's going to happen in the season. I'm just saying, in week 7, we'll know whether this game is really going to be worth it or not, because we've never seen Matt Stafford on a team that's not the Lions, and we've never seen Jared Goff that's on a team that's not the Rams, because one guy was a good quarter. I think Matt Stafford's a good quarterback. One guy was a good quarterback on a team that's just cursed. And one guy was a decent quarterback on a team that was stacked, really, in my opinion. Until Todd Gurley's knees kind of turned into like 60-year-old's knees. But he still had a lot of talent around him compared to the Lions. And just in general, the Lions coaching staff. Matt Patricia. Good Lord. Good Lord, Matt Patricia. As an Eagles fan, Darius Slay is on the Eagles. Great cornerback, Pro Bowl level cornerback for the Lions for many years, and he came to the Eagles and was like, "Yeah, Patricia sucks." Like, he had nothing good to say about that guy, and you can tell it kind of reflected. The Lions didn't get any better. In fact, they probably got worse. So, hopefully this dude's biting kneecaps, and I have no idea what else he does. Just the way he talks, man, like. That was the most intensity out of the Lions. That was the most intensity out of the Lions I had seen in years. It's great. It's great. You gotta love that. Okay, we're at the halfway point. We're at number 5, so I think this is a good time to drop another shot in my mouth. That sounded wrong. I'm just gonna down another shot of Jameson real quick. This podcast does not endorse alcoholism. I just really like to indulge in alcohol sometimes. Fuck with me. Yeah. Whoa. This shit burns. Love it. Drinking, talking about football. It's Labor Day. Got nothing better to do. Alright, let's get back to it. Let me pick another one here. Man, there's a lot on my list in front of me. We did a couple curveballs. So let's get back on track. Let's talk about another marquee matchup. Chiefs versus Ravens, week 2. Only week 2, man. So we're more than likely, unless some crazy shit happens. Hopefully Lamar and Patrick can stay safe and healthy. Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. If you catch my oh man, brain fart. Are you catching the pattern now? I'm looking at a lot of quarterback matchups. Because let's be real, that's what really determines a game and how good it's going to go. If you tell me, the Saints, all right, let's pretend Drew Brees was still playing. Would you watch Drew Brees versus Patrick Mahomes or Taysom Hill versus Patrick Mahomes? Of course you'd pick Drew Brees versus Patrick Mahomes. Taysom Hill sucks. I'm not surprised Jameis Winston is the quarterback of the Saints now. Even though he threw like 100 interceptions in like the past 2 or 3 years he started. Basically, if you're a decent quarterback against Patrick Mahomes, it's a mark. Patrick Mahomes is just fun to watch, man. Just truly one of the most fun to watch athletes right now. I'm trying to think of them all. There's like Patrick Mahomes. LeBron James is still kind of up there, but he's on the downturn. Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Shohei Ohtani in baseball, Mike Trout. Like, there's just guys. Well, Mike Trout has been injured. There's just guys that really, they just capture you. You just have to watch them. And Patrick Mahomes is the reason why he's on this list a couple times. Honestly, I'm going to try and eliminate a couple of them. I've noticed I've written the Chiefs down a bunch. So, the Chiefs versus the Ravens is going to be a fun game to watch. But also, you got to see what happens to the Ravens, too. Remember, I said 4 weeks is when you can really measure whether a team is good or not, or where you think they're going to go throughout the season. Lamar kind of took a step back last year. He was amazing in 2019. No one could stop him. He was throwing everywhere, but also you could find anyone open because they were too worried about Lamar Jackson. I think last year teams started figuring him out a little bit. I hope he really doesn't go down the same path that Colin Kaepernick went down. I know he's a very controversial topic, but the truth is, football-wise, he was getting figured out more and more, and every year you notice his stats were just dropping as a quarterback. Yeah, he could run. He definitely could run. Colin Kaepernick could run for days. So can Lamar Jackson. The dude, the running back jokes are, I think the running back jokes are off the table. I don't think he's an amazing passer, but the dude clearly shows that he can be a quarterback in the NFL. Not a wide receiver. He's a quarterback. He can do it. And he's dangerous because of his legs. He can extend plays. He can he can run and juke you out, but also he can stay in the pocket and throw if he needs to. But definitely not as good as when he's running. And when he's running, it's exciting. He's shifty and agile. It's awesome to see him play. And then on the other side again, Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to keep harping on it, but the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes are just fun to watch. You can't deny it. Literally, ESPN was playing 2 incompletions by Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl last year. The one where he's falling down and he guns a line drive at Tyreek Hill who drops it. And there was the one where he spun around and threw it before he fell out of bounds and it was incomplete. I think they kind of overblew that. Why are you highlighting incompletions? But I'll give it this, man. When it happened, I was like, holy shit. If someone caught that, that's one of the best plays I've ever seen. He's that level. He's that guy. And the Ravens and Chiefs are going to be a good game. Week 2, early on too. I'm sure that's a national broadcast as well. I'm sure that could be a Monday night game at this point. I'm even going to, you know what? Oh yeah, that's a Sunday night game. That's Sunday night. That's going to get Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth. Here's a guy. Fucking Collinsworth, piece of shit. I liked him up until the Super Bowl with the Eagles. He was rooting so hard against the Eagles. In fact, he roots against the Eagles just nonstop now, I feel. He was calling Ben DiNucci Patrick Mahomes last year. Ben DiNucci. Ben fucking DiNucci, man. Is he on a team? He better not be. You know what? Speaking of the Cowboys, I'm not gonna lie. I gotta put this on here. I gotta put 1. All right, this is how you know I'm not biased. All right, I fucking hate the Cowboys. I don't even. I'll stop right there. This is a marquee matchup though, and it's the first game of the year. It's the Cowboys versus the Buccaneers. Again, Tom Brady showing up on the list because why wouldn't he? He's the GOAT. But it's also the return of Dak. It's also the return of Dak Prescott. Truth is, he went down so early last year. The entire NFC East sucks. We all know that. They've sucked for the past couple years, basically since the Eagles won the Super Bowl. But it definitely does not help the Cowboys' case last year that Dak Prescott broke his leg. And it was gruesome, and he had to have a long recovery. Now he says he's good to go. Wasn't in preseason, but they're saying he's gonna go out there. He's gonna be there for week 1. We'll see. We'll see how that goes, man. And it's gonna be against the Super Bowl champions. So, I mean, there's not a bigger stage than that. There's just not. I'm glad it's not in Jerry World. If it was in Jerry World, I feel like it'd be too easy for Dak. He's going to start off against the Super Bowl champions in their home stadium. That's a challenge. If they beat the Buccaneers in week 1, that's huge. That's just humongous for them. I don't think they will, but I think their defense is still a wet paper bag. But I mean, that'd be a good story for Dak. His presence was missed last year in the NFC East because the Cowboys had every chance to win the division if he played. Like, every other team sucked so bad. But, that didn't happen. The Washington football team won because of dubious circumstances involving the Eagles. That was great. That was lovely. But yeah, Cowboys Bucks can't deny it. It's also, guys, it's the first game of the year. It's going to be the first game post COVID, I guess you could say. Now that there's going to be actual people in the stands, really, and it's in Florida, so it's going to be a real packed crowd. So yeah, it's definitely a marquee match. We're all gonna pay attention to it, and we're all gonna root for the Buccaneers to beat the Cowboys. Honestly, I think this is like a torture tactic from the NFL. They're like, what's a game that everyone's gonna pay attention to, but they're not gonna like who's involved, and they're gonna have to pick a side. And they're like, well, everyone's gonna pay attention week 1. Everyone wants football. Everyone's clamoring for football every year. The off season, it drags on, and then when finally we get to this weekend or this week, because this is a Thursday night game, I believe, right? Yeah, I believe it's Thursday. Yeah, Thursday night. I mean, dude, yeah, they're gonna we're gonna put a Thursday night game on, and we're gonna have Tom Brady and the Super Bowl champions versus the Cowboys. Let's put the Cowboys on there. Oh, great, 2 teams I really don't want either of these teams to win, but yeah, I'm leaning for the Buccaneers. Obviously, fuck the Cowboys. I don't care that it's Dak's return, but let's be honest, it's a big return because it drastically affected the Cowboys' season last year. And it proved that Dak is the best quarterback in the NFC East as of right now. Unless Jalen Hurts, emerges as a great quarterback, or Daniel Jones actually takes a step forward, but everything in the offseason has told me that's not going to happen. Or maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick turns back the clock and becomes a god for the Washington football team. Who knows? But right now, it's Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the division, and it's not even close, considering how terrible the division is. So yeah, week 1, baby. It's only a couple days away. Week 1. We got number 7. Guys, you ready? Ready for this one? I was talking about him earlier. The Cleveland Browns will be going to Baltimore in week 12. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a rivalry. We have a real rivalry matchup. A real contest. This is the Browns versus the Ravens, and it actually matters because the Browns actually look like a good team. The Browns actually made it further in the playoffs than the Ravens did. The Browns almost made the Super Bowl last year. Come on now. You can't tell me you're not hyped for that. You cannot tell me that you're not hyped for that. And I know a lot of people are kind of in and out on Baker Mayfield, but guys, he's pretty good. If he keeps it up, man, he's gonna stay there. He was kind of he had a good rookie year, and then sophomore year was a little bit off. Last year, Stepped up big time, man. And of course, again, Lamar Jackson, very fun to watch. I didn't say this before. The Ravens' defense is stacked, man. They're a good defense. So, we'll just have to see what happens there. But I think that's a very interesting game. It's crazy how the Browns now have sort of an influence on how the AFC North goes. It's not just the Steelers and Ravens anymore. With like the Bengals and Browns just trying to even just fight to stay alive and be relevant at all. They never really were because, you just knew it was down to the Steelers or the Ravens. That's who was going to the playoffs. But now with the Browns looking good, I mean, last year the Steelers were good up until they all of a sudden just fell off a cliff near the end of the year and then just died in the playoffs by the hand of the Browns. It's now a three-man race unless the Bengals with Joe Burrow somehow prove everyone wrong. It's great. It's good to see a little bit more parity and the Browns actually not sucking completely. Maybe winning more than 4 games. Like there was that year. There was 3 years where they won 3 games, 3 years in a row, and they only won 3 games. And they had the second 0-16 season in the history of football. It's incredible. Now all of a sudden they're playoff contenders, barring any other changes. That's the beauty of football. Every year, like there's some teams you look at and you're like they're gonna be good. And then there's some teams that just pop up out of nowhere, and they just prove like, hey, we're here, we're gonna make it, we're gonna show you guys. That's the Browns now. That's the Browns. They're gonna try and fight to make sure you notice them. And if they beat the Ravens, man, if the Browns are the only team to come out of the AFC North, that's incredible. And I'll tell you what, the AFC West is looking pretty stacked themselves. Between the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Broncos. It's funny, the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Chargers, a lot of people would probably say that they're not good, but really they are good. They're just kind of in a division with the Chiefs, and they just beat up on each other, all of them. Just beat up on each other every year now. I think the Broncos took a big step forward, but the AFC North has been a 2-man race for years. And now it's looking like the Browns have entered the fold. Really good to see. Let me look at another curveball. I'm going to give you another curveball. And Jack, maybe you'll like this. Maybe you won't. This is a week 1 matchup. It's the Panthers versus the Jets. The Carolina Panthers will go into MetLife Stadium and face the New York Jets. Why is this one big? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that the guy that they just drafted a couple years ago, the number 1 overall, their number 1 guy, their quarterback, Sam Darnold, he's going to go up against his former team in the Jets, who got a new number 1 guy. Or, well, number 2 overall, but their number 1 quarterback. Man, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm mixing up my words, but you get what I'm saying. Their old quarterback versus their new quarterback in MetLife. I don't know how. I wonder how the Jets fans will receive Sam Darnold returning. I've told Jack this before. I don't think it was Sam Darnold's fault that the team sucked. I think it was the team's fault that the team sucked. And you had Adam Gase as the coach. They hired Adam Gase. I was like, why would anyone want this guy to be the coach of their team? And then very quickly we realized, oh yeah, there really is no reason to have this guy as the head coach of your team. And I felt bad for Sam Darnold, man. I did not think any of it was his fault. Did not understand why you hired Adam Gase. And he had no one around him, really. Robbie Anderson was good, but he wasn't as good as when he went to the Panthers and DJ Moore was on the other side. And now he has Sam Darnold thrown to him. Teddy Bridgewater last year was mid. He's just meh. Now he's the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos. We'll see how that goes. I mean, I think they should have went with Drew Lock in Denver, but Teddy's the veteran. I guess they just went with veteran status. But now the Panthers have Sam Darnold, and I think Sam Darnold can play. I think he's solid. I thought he had flashes in New York, but it's hard to judge a guy when the rest of your team is crap. And he still had moments that you were at, the audio bit of him saying, I'm seeing ghosts. Yeah, that doesn't look good. That's not something you want to hear from your quarterback. But can you blame him? Was anyone blocking for him? Really? Maybe they were trying, but it wasn't really working. And now, Zach Wilson, let's see what the kid's got. A lot of rookie quarterbacks this year. I mean, I feel like there is every year now. But really looking forward to seeing how that goes. He was heavily touted after his workout, in the offseason. So wasn't surprised that he went to the Jets because they were pretty keen on getting him. But it's time to see if he's the real deal. They have, they added Corey Davis. They still have Jamison Crowder, who I think is a great vet receiver. I think he's solid. And Denzel Mims, he was looking pretty good as a rookie last year. Who is this guy? Pirine, running back, looking young, man. The defense, not bad either. They just needed better coaching, I think. Whatever talent they had, and I don't think they had that much talent. They just felt discombobulated all the time. I don't know. It just felt like they never had it together. And Adam Gase just staring at ghosts or angels. He was coked out in that debut interview, that debut press conference. He had to be on something, man. What the fuck was he looking at? That video of him just like following magic fairies around his head while people are asking him questions. What the fuck was that, man? There's got to be something. Coke, mescaline, acid. He was on something, bro. He had to be. Joe Douglas, though, man, building the team there. The Panthers, I don't know much about them. I don't know nearly as much about them, but I know I like Robbie Anderson. I like DJ Moore. They're getting Christian McCaffrey back, too. I forgot about that. Let me go to the Panthers real quick. If Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, that offense is disgusting. It sucks that they lost Curtis Samuel, and I'm really upset he's on the Washington football team now. Curtis Samuel was an absolute savage. You could do whatever you wanted with him. Running back, wide receiver. He could do it all. But, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, that's a solid. That's really, I don't even know who plays tight end for them. That's a solid group right there of players. They also drafted one of my favorite names coming out of college, Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard. Absolute fantastic name. Running back out of Oklahoma State. I think he's a solid backup to Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey is just all over the field. You could put McCaffrey in the slot wide receiver spot, and have Chuba Hubbard in the back. Chuba Hubbard. I can't believe I'm saying that name. It's fucking beautiful. Love it. Hall of Fame name right there. Wouldn't be amazed if he took Christian McCaffrey's spot with that name. But yeah, I realize they have a new quarterback, and if Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, maybe the Panthers are more than we think they are. And the Saints lost Drew Brees. Yeah, they're in the division with the Buccaneers, though. That's a little dicey there for them. Does anyone still care about the Falcons? Who knows? They got Kyle Pitts. I know Brick loves Kyle Pitts. I like Kyle Pitts. Dude had that one play in the preseason, and people were like jerking off to it. It was pretty impressive. The dude looks fast. He doesn't look like a tight end at all. He looks like a massive wide receiver. So yeah, that was another curveball right there. Week 1 as well. Panthers Jets. I'm sure there's other games I'm missing, but I'm just like looking at the ones I was looking at again, just matchups. Mostly quarterback matchups. That's really what I should call this. This was my top 10 quarterback matchups going into the season, marquee matchups for me. Some of these you might be looking at like, oh, that's fucking dumb. I'm not gonna watch Panthers Jets. I'm not gonna watch the Jaguars and Bengals. Like, watch when that game comes up. It's week 4. Both teams are like 0-3. That'd be so on brand with me and my sports takes. All right, yeah, dude. I definitely want to watch an 0-3 versus 0-3 game. That's what I really want to watch. I hope that's national. But anyway, we'll finish this with, oh man, I have to pick between two. Real quick, honorable mention, gotta be the Seahawks versus the Packers, because just in recent history, it's Russell Wilson versus Aaron Rodgers, but in general, for some reason, when the Seahawks and Packers play each other, it's always a fantastic football game. I don't expect that to be any different, and it'll be week 10. It'll be much further into the year. It'll have a lot of playoff implications, I'm sure. So, yeah, that'll be a great game. That'll be in Lambeau. So, I just wanted to put that one out there, because Seahawks-Packers just always feels like a marquee game. But I'm going to finish with potentially a AFC Championship Conference game. AFC Conference Championship game. That's what I meant to say. It's the Bills will be going to Kansas City again. We're talking about the Chiefs. I'm sorry. The Bills versus the Chiefs is the AFC Championship game I wanted to see last year, and we got robbed of it due to seeding. I want to see it again. Those are the two teams I think are the best in the AFC. If everyone stays healthy, stays off the COVID list, all that stuff, the Bills and the Chiefs, that's the game I want to see. It's just two quarterbacks that are impressive. They both have cannon arms. They're both agile. Josh Allen, a little bit more of a running guy. Patrick Mahomes he's just flashy in every way possible. He can run, but obviously you want to see him throw the ball. He throws with such ease, the no-look passes, the flip, like the left-handed passes, and he's insane. He's absolutely insane. So that's the game. I can't wait to see that one. That's in week 5. I really think that is like, hopefully seeding works out right if these teams actually like play the way they should, and one team is number 1, one team's number 2, and they just somehow meet in the conference championship game. Those two teams are Super Bowl contenders easily. Everyone knows it. And then after that, it's just who do you think is going to play the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl? I feel like the Buccaneers are going to go back. It's Tom Brady, man. It's Tom Brady. Personally, I think Patrick Mahomes got his shot. I hope the Bills take it all the way. I hope the Super Bowl ends up being Buccaneers versus Bills. And watch Tom Brady take down yet another young superstar. Because he's fucking Thanos. And I hate it. So yeah, those are my 10 marquee matchups of the year so far. Obviously, that fluctuates though, because teams sometimes are down and some players get injured, and yeah, but I'm looking at these on paper, and these are just games that I looked at and was like, wow, that sounds interesting. That sounds fun. So, yeah, those are my top 10 games of the year to watch. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be paying attention to everyone thanks to fantasy football, and I'd like to thank everyone that joined in on the FUNTS Fantasy Football League, the inaugural FUNTS Fantasy Football League. Quite the draft. I'm looking at you, Logan, for missing the first pick and getting Christian McCaffrey when I know you wanted Patrick Mahomes. You fool. Why did you have to be such a good father? Why did you have to play with your children? Why was your wife making dinner? Why do you have such a great family life? You missed the first pick in the fantasy football league, dude. Get your priorities straight. Okay, sorry. I'm done picking on Logan. So yeah, thank you for listening, and follow us at Fat Unathletic Nerds Talking Sports on Facebook, at FUNTS Podcast on Twitter and Instagram, and go subscribe to our YouTube page. Thank you. See ya. Peace.